Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate it. We have got great guests with us tonight. We have got Yvonne, Thrifty Rich, and Junk to Be Loved. And I have Dalton in here. So, not sure exactly how this is going to go. Brad's not feeling well, so I don't know. Hopefully, he will chill up. I hope. So, if I mute myself and disappear, you guys know why. I am going to go ahead before introductions, because we had a membership and a super chat before we even started, and give some dolphins out real quick. And then I will let these lovely ladies introduce themselves. So Sandra L., I believe you were a member before. I think I might be mistaken, but welcome back. So here is your membership dolphin.
Welcome to the flipping family.
Yay! Welcome back. And my eBay store reviews is Monday coming up. It's the first Monday of every month. So perfect timing to join. And then Aunt B gave $5 super chat. So let me give you your dolphin, and then we will meet these lovely ladies.
Super chat.
Thank you, Aunt B. I am going to let Miss Yvonne go first. And Yvonne has been here before, but I will let her go ahead and introduce herself and tell you guys about her and her channel as well.
Is she on mute?
Yeah, I can't hear her.
Think you're on mute.
Yeah, we're going to start over. Hi, you guys. Yes, I've been on before. Kat's a friend of mine. I really enjoy Kat, and I'm usually in the chat if I can stay up that late. Anyways, my name is Yvonne, and Thrifty Rich is my channel, and I also run Thrifty Rich Club. So I've been a reseller for way back since my 20s. This is going to date me. Before the internet, I started with the indoor flea markets, and one thing leads to another. And my daughter turned me on to eBay in the 90s, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I've been doing that. I do thrift with me videos, thrift challenges, thrift hauls. I've started doing some live sales on my channel and other people's channels. Just having a good time. I sell a little bit of everything. I did about 2 years ago, I did kind of lay off of clothing for a little bit and taught myself about the vintage and joined in with the vintage community and met a lot of nice people there too. But I'm back to selling clothing too. A little bit of everything. Hi. I know some of you.
All right, here you go. All right, you're big. Beware.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I am Missy. My channel is Junk to Be Loved. I have been a reseller since I've been in my mama's womb, to be honest. No, for real, I've been a full-time reseller for almost 10 years now. I started out redoing furniture, and I did that for many years. And then I just started running out of room and got sick of my stuff getting ruined because I didn't have enough room and it had to be outside. And so then I switched to smalls, and actually I switched to smalls when I found YouTube. I didn't even know that people videoed themselves going to thrift stores and stuff like that until it was like blowing up. And I was like, that is so awesome. And my mom's like, Missy, you find really cool things. You should start your own channel and show people your deals. Because here in Iowa, I'm from Iowa, by the way. And here in Iowa, we have a lot of thrift stores and garage sales, and I get some really fun things. So that's what started me on YouTube. So thank you guys for tuning in and subscribing.
Sorry, Dalton's trying to escape the shed. So if you guys have questions, and Richard is dropping links, I actually just pinned Richard's channel to the top of the chat. Richard is an immense help to me every Tuesday. Richard, I really do appreciate you being here and moderating and helping us handle sharing everybody's links and keeping the chat in line when it is needed. Luckily, it is not needed very often. We have a good group of people here. Alice.
Thank you, Richard.
Calvin, hello, watching over on Facebook. Hello. The YouTube side can't see it, but we can here in StreamYard. So thank you for watching. Oh, and Marsha's saying she was born in Cedar Rapids. I know Calvin was in Iowa, and he racked up and made tons of money on vintage farm hats. I don't know if you come across them, but he came across hats that were worth over $100 all the time.
Oh, wow.
So if you're not looking at hats, look at vintage farm hats. Yes, Richard does deserve more subs. That is why his top guys definitely show Richard some support and some love. Yes, you do behave most of the time, unlike my 3-year-old knocking on the shed door right now. Krause House Sift and Thrift. How is full-time reselling going? So this is actually the first week of that. It started Sunday with me being off Sunday. My week starts on Sunday, and it's going okay, but I had 2 doctor's appointments this morning, came home for 2 hours. Then Dalton had a doctor's appointment. So I didn't accomplish much, but I was telling Julian, Yvonne, and Missy, well, I don't think Missy's in there. I have done $609 today on eBay, guys. And that's not counting Facebook either. So that is amazing. Yeah, I sold another one of the $300 Kingfisher pins, and I sold a $75 vase overnight. It sold very, very fast, and it's been good sales. So it is going okay. Hopefully once these and then Friday I have to go to the dentist. So hopefully I have time to full-time resell and can get these doctors and dentist appointments out. Where did I just saw Connor? Oh, the Hoogs. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you coming, Connor and Desiree. And definitely, if you guys have questions, definitely feel free to ask and put them in the chat. Yeah, it's kind of different. I know, Yvonne, you're full-time too?
Well, okay, it's hard to judge. I mean, I pretty much do a little bit of reselling and thrifting or something every day. You know, it's basically what I do, but I don't know if I would call myself full-time because I still have a household to run. Steve and I take care of my elderly father who's here. You know, then there's YouTube. I don't have another outside job. I retired from everything else. So I guess you could kind of say yes.
Whoa. I'm clicking wrong buttons. Dalton just spilled a cup all over the shed. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, I've got a ton going on too, and I really put full-time hours into it before even dropping down to part-time. Hopefully I will have more time. I will tell you, I'm watching another auction that could turn into $1,000 purchase that ends tomorrow. But it's all Yadro.
Nice.
Over 75 Yadro pieces, and those seem to sell very fast and very well and very high profit. And Richard, you did not need to give me a super chat. Then people are going to think you're paying me, but you're not paying me. I mean, I guess now you are paying me, but he paid after the fact.
He did.
The crazy thing is I changed colors after the 6th month, but my cool rainbow colored dolphin, somehow YouTube has it till not after 2 years. So don't hate me. And I don't think I can change that. I don't think I have a way to change it. I guess at least it's just ice. There's now ice all over the floor of the shed. And he went and got more. Let me give Richard his dolphin on here. So Richard, I think the next one is a year and then 2 years. And I'm going to try and figure it out. But I don't know the timeline on that. This is a mess. All right, here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
I love those.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. You don't have to, though. Aunt B says, I bought from High Bids 2 times. Both times the lots I won gave to someone else. Has this happened to you? And if so, how often? I will tell you, and I would like Julian also to answer, because I know Julian buys from High Bid, if the ladies do or not. I do that all the time, like I'm not a lady whenever we have 2 female guests. I'm like, the ladies. So I actually, in one of my members' lives, we were looking at auctions and there was somebody that lived close to me. And I'm like, hey, that's a pin I won. And it was a pin I won. And it said may have won. They did not give it to me. And I bid over $100 on this pin that is worth, $300-ish. And they didn't invoice me. They didn't give it to me. And then they put it in their next auction. And I'm like, and I did not message them, but I kind of struck that auction company off of my list. So I don't know if you're meaning like, I want you to clarify if you mean like you won it, you paid, and then they gave it to someone, or do you mean that like you won it and they let somebody else have the win on that? And the only other time I have seen that happen would be if you have like a live webcast auction. And in those cases, they will give the floor bidder, the in-person bidder, even if you bid the same amount, the person that is in person will win over the online bidder. So I'm gonna let Julian, if he's had anything like that. And then Yvonne and Missy, if either one of you have dealt with high bid, definitely chime in.
I have
I've got a good bid on high bid, and I haven't really dealt with that. I only deal with basically 2 auction houses in my area because I don't like to drive more than like 2 seconds away from my house. But the one people there are super good. I've left things there by accident, and that was kind of like a loss on my part because I didn't pick it up. Like they put it in my pile, and I don't know. But I've never bought something and them not give it to me, or they said somebody else won. And I didn't know that about if it's in person, that the person sometimes wins on the floor, because everything that I do is mostly online. Like, I don't think there's an actual bidding thing going on. So no, that would be the answer.
Okay. Yeah, I actually, and I forgot about this, I bid, and it was a webcast as well. And I bid way before the end, and they didn't acknowledge my bid, and they gave it to the in person. I'm like, I was willing to pay like $100 more than they just paid, but I think it goes so fast, and they're trying to watch the computer, watch these people that are in person, raising their hand or doing whatever they're doing, that happens to happen. Yvette wants to know, Missy, what part of Iowa are you in?
I live in Knoxville, Iowa, the sprint car capital of the world. We are actually getting ready to have big, huge races. Like my little town, I live in a small town, and we have the Knoxville Nationals where the sprint car races, like everybody comes here, and our little town gets packed with like 1 million people. It's exciting for me because I make a lot of money. I won't be able to go do my live sales. Usually I do my live sales, 2 live sales a week, but I won't be able to do those because I'll be too busy parking cars and campers in my yard because I live right by the racetrack. So.
I would so do that if I was close to an event. Yes.
Yeah.
I think of that, like all the people near, because like where I work is University of Florida, all the football games, same thing, like $10 a car. I'm like, man, they're like making money just for like renting out their grass for a few hours,
Yeah,
like,
it's awesome. Plus you get so many new people.
Sorry. My brother used to live up in Denver, right by the Mile High. And when I first moved here, I lived up in Denver, near him to help him out with some projects. And so every game we would park cars, I don't know, 8,000, 10,000 a night. But, it was short-lived. But that's some good, easy money.
Yep,
yeah.
It is.
Michael, I am not going to repeat that. I am putting it up and acknowledging it because he's being quiet right now, and we need that right now. So Richard's saying he hasn't. I don't think it's like totally commonplace, but I think it does unfortunately happen. Laura, that sucks. So Laura did you contact List Perfectly? Laura was using List Perfectly earlier, and it was only transferring over her first photo. It wasn't transferring the rest, but I couldn't help, unfortunately. Well, we don't have my friend Jocelyn here, Jackass Retro, and she brings all the boys to the yard, and we have still almost 200 people. I'm good with 200 people. We're all right with that.
I never have 200 people.
Right. 200 is 200. that's just horrible. Like, she's saying she won it and they gave it to someone else. I've accidentally gotten other lots, not on purpose, where they like accidentally gave it to me inside of stuff. It was a necklace and I just gave it back. But you know, like I mean, that's just horrible. I've heard some horror stories. I think it was Dave Tesla Picker that told me a really bad one like that too. I could make Dalton like blue or something in one of the emojis. I could change his color. We could make him like where he's screaming and blue in the face. Which hopefully that won't happen in real life tonight. Julian, what is your favorite find while sourcing? Not because it will make you money, because it lights you up.
I really like old reels. Like when I get into like some, like if you watch one of my videos, I saw some really old pen reels. Immediately I was like, I overpaid for them because I was so excited. Just one of those things that like old big pen internationals are always good. Any type of old pen, like 2-speed is really cool. The Spin Fishers and anything from the original Jurassic Park. If I ever find like a hat, a shirt, any type of thing like that, it's I'm always on it. I've only found like the original hat. I haven't found anything else. Looking for the dinosaurs. So 2 different things there, hugely different.
Hi, girls. Laura and Mary Beth. Hi.
Hi, guys. I am going to let everybody answer this. It might get answered differently. It might not. We might all do the same thing. Cynthia says, I charged an eBay customer $8 for shipping, but it was only $6. What happens to the difference?
We're doing me first.
Yeah.
If it's just a little bit, I consider that handling fee. $2. Yeah, that's a hard one. I might probably slip $1 or something in their package. I'm not going to do the refund though, because that gets too complicated, but I probably would slip $1 and something like that. But normally I'm not to be a brat, but I'm pretty close normally.
So Missy, the question is, if you charge a customer $8 for shipping, but it was only $6, what happens to the difference?
Well, usually nothing. To be quite honest, I just consider it handling charges, because a lot of the times now I'm getting really good at being pretty much right on with my shipping, because I use the postal app. Like I'll package everything up first, and then like wrap everything up and pack it up and tape up the box and then weigh it on my scale. And then I get on that postal app and see how much it is for shipping. So lately I've been on, but before I was usually off where I had to pay for extra shipping for people.
Yeah, $2. That's going to be a one of those things that it is what it is. That's going to stay with me. And the only time I really change it and I'll send them a refund on eBay, I don't do any type of like cash things, it's going to be if I combine shipping and do that a whole bunch, especially with tools or golf clubs. I said a guy buy like 10 golf clubs. I combine that shipping, so you spend like $75 and it only costs it like 15. So definitely send him back that, the combined shipping. But $2, it's one of those things. So I would, because to be honest with you, sometimes I lose 2, sometimes I gain 2. It all kind of equals out in the wash for me.
Yeah, and I would say you keep it. For those of you that don't know, eBay charges you a % on shipping. So that $8, they're going to charge you 80 cents. So now it goes down to $7.20 you've got. What if your box costs 50 cents? So there's $6.70 and then some bubble wrap or some paper, and I keep it. I don't think you should refund it, because that buyer bought your item expecting to pay that much in shipping. And a lot of people charge handling fees as well. And that's okay if you want to do that. But typically, like if they're charged 12, I'm going to pay probably 9 because of the 30% discount that eBay gives us off of priority mail, 20 or 25. So I'm going to, because I use calculated shipping, end up with like $3 extra, but helps buy boxes and bubble wrap and paper, and you are also spending time packing that as well. So like Julian said, unless it was a very high amount on a combined order, or I've had really big orders that were like $40 cheaper via FedEx than they were USPS, but the person had paid, that I would refund. I'm not going to keep $40 difference. But if you're talking like 3 to 5, I'm not even going to think about it and just go on. So it's very rare that I would even think about offering to refund them.
Your buyer won't even know unless you've hit display postage on label.
Yeah, they're not going to know how much you paid unless you go like to the post office and purchase it. And then you're paying too much anyways because you saved 20% by printing it off of eBay. Cross House Sift and Thrift, and all of us on here do have YouTube channels, so everybody can answer this. She wants to know, how long did it take you to get large following? And I don't know what she means by large, but we can kind of... Yeah, none of us are, comparatively to some of our friends, are very large, any of us right now. But
I'm happy, but
yeah, I only have a little over 2,000 subscribers.
Okay, well, you guys, we're doing it like this. Is why I'm always going first. I'm not like,
I know.
You
go
this,
first,
you guys. So, okay, so I started the YouTube channel a while back. And I was always on other people's channels. I was a member of panel shows in the general reselling community. And then I kind of laid off for about a year. And then when I got back on it, I was like, wait a minute, I should focus on my own channel. So this was about a year and a half ago. I started focusing on my own channel, started doing, thrift with me, went to go learn about vintage. I wanted to add hard goods. I decided not to be a big baby about shipping and add hard goods. And now I'm so glad I did. And so within that year and a half, I did grow from 3,500. That's where I left off. And I'm at what, 13, I'm about to hit 13,007. So I feel like that's some pretty good growth, but I do want to say that's with at least 2 or 3 videos a week and still networking, still going on other people's shows. Friends like Kat invite me on and let me talk and meet some of her friends. And so, and being consistent and learning as much as I can and upgrading my equipment. So that's me. Missy?
Well, me, I don't really have that many subscribers, which, I mean, to me, it's a lot, 2,000, because I just honestly started my channel. I didn't even know you could make money off of YouTube or anything like that. I just started my channel because I wanted to show people the fun things that I get, because I think that I like to find fun, eye-catching vintage treasures. Like, I'm all about the vintage. I love vintage. And I just wanted to show people the cool things that I got. And then once I seen that people started having live sales, I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to try to do that. And, that you can make good money doing live sales. So that's what.
How old is your channel, Missy?
Oh, gosh, I think it's only like a little over 2 years, maybe.
When you started working on it consciously,
yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. A lot of people are still struggling to get their first 1,000. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. I didn't even think you could make money.
Yeah, when I started, I really thought, and it's pretty young. I'm about a year and a couple months in, or a year and a half or something. But I was like, oh, there's not a lot of people that do this. I'm going to corner the market. Then I started looking. I was like, there's a ton of people that do this. So, yeah, just a whole bunch of consistency. I drop every other day, 7 p.m. every day, every other day.
Be yourself. Oh my gosh, be yourself.
8 months. Yeah, that's a big one.
Don't even worry.
And I think the time thing is very, very relative because there are so many different things that can help you grow. Like going on, I went on a lot of other people's lives, a lot more than I do now. I made the time for it because I wanted to get my name out. I wanted to be well known. I was on 2 and 3 shows a week. I was on my first probably 4 months. I spent over 8 hours a day on YouTube in reseller chats, chatting, commenting, letting people know who I was. I put a lot of time into YouTube the first 6 to 8 months. And I mean, and that was all not making any money. I got monetized about 6 months in, and it kind of compounds. It's like the more subscribers you have, the more you get, you know, and the more your videos get pushed out as long as people are clicking. I am back doing daily videos.
Same. Very good for you.
Because I'm crazy. But it's not hard. Like, I went out and like did 4 thrift stores in one day. You know, I'm kind of following Jocelyn's model of going out 1 or 2 days to get a whole week's worth of videos. It's the actual editing that, you know, is where it's hard. And once I'm home more here soon, hopefully I can do some more what solds, but sometimes it's not enough stuff to do a what sold. And that's when I've been doing pulling, packing, and shipping. So there are also, I know people that started the same time I did that, like Yvonne said, still haven't hit 1,000. I am at 2 years in December. December will be 2 years for me. So you can see like Julian's like shooting. Did I go? Man, I didn't go the right way. Julian has been shooting up here lately because he had one video go like crazy. And I know Dave Tesla Picker did too. He has like 100,000 views on a video from last week.
A viral video. Yeah, there you go.
A viral video will make you just go, you know.
You never know what it's going to be. You can try it.
Your
don't even
video
try.
Will be horrible, and you don't know. You just don't know.
It'll just be organic. Like, you can't fake it. You just be organic and be like, whoa.
It's just going to happen. It's not happened to me yet.
Not me either.
Jackie says, is there a way to find solds on Facebook like on eBay?
Not that I know of.
I would say no, but I will also say I somehow saw, like in my feed, I saw a video where someone said there was. I don't remember who it was, but maybe search YouTube. And if you find out, then you have to come back and let us know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yvette wants to know, Yvonne, what sources did you use to teach yourself vintage items?
Hi, Yvette. Okay, so when I decided, hey, I'm going to add hard goods again, because I would breeze through the hard good aisle. You know, if I saw something cool, I'd pick it up, of course, but I was mainly doing clothing. And then I decided, okay, you know, I made space for it. I gave up my guest room and turned it into a storage room. And I really got into it. And I said, you know what? Vintage is blowing up. The millennials are loving buying vintage. And so what I did is I just started searching other YouTube channels, because I was predominantly, you know, all the OG channels and whatever. I don't know. I won't rattle them off. But, you know, I was hanging out with Lindy Glenn, and she's still a friend of mine. And so the first person I found was George the Antique Nomad. He had just come over from Periscope and just started his YouTube channel. So he and I are good friends now. He's come to see me twice. I love him. And from then I found Jocelyn. Jocelyn was just now kind of separating from her relic recoverist and fixing Crazy Lamp Lady. And you know, she was just a wealth of information for vintage. And then there were a few other people. I met Misty and Jeffrey, Real Nifty Vintage. You know, I went to look for the people that I felt like were honest and kind of knew what they were talking about. Of course, my two favorites are George and Jocelyn, but there are more people. And then I started doing my own research. I research constantly, you guys. I absorb a lot of YouTube content. I might be just listening, but I'm learning. And I'll peek over when when it's time to see what the item is or showing. So. And you know what? Can I say one more thing? I know I'm talking a lot. And
yeah, no, go ahead.
When it comes to teaching about vintage, I was a little nervous because I like art glass too. So I lean toward the vintage art glass a lot too, more so than the kitsch. And I was shocked. Okay, now take this in context, but to learn like the most common brands of vintage pottery and glass, not antique, that's a whole different ball of wax. There's really only so many of the top ones of the kind you're going to find at the thrift stores or online. It's not a real long list. It could probably fit on one piece of paper. Like, you know, one of the more higher ends, Kat mentioned Yadro, you know, so really it's not that bad to learn like the basics of stuff that pretty much will sell.
Yeah. And by looking stuff up that you see that you like, you'll learn, you know, at least learn like kind of what it is and if it's valuable or not. And I guess we can kind of like reiterate, because we kind of covered it when we answered the last one about how long it took us to get big, but what's the best advice you would give for a new YouTuber starting out?
Okay. Be yourself. I promise you. I don't know if everybody else will say this, but my very first videos by myself are still up. I can't watch them. Okay, I can't. But they're there. So if you go watch a couple of our very beginnings, you'll be like, oh, okay, it does get better. You do get more comfortable. And I think we talked about this, me and Jocelyn and you and Kayla was on it because Julian was sick. And we talked about this. It's even if you're shy of public speaking, it'll do you good. What's going to happen to you is you're going to build confidence for yourself. You're not going to worry so much about how you look. You're going to just build confidence of talking to people, and it's good for other areas of your life. So if you have an inkling, I highly recommend it. And do research, find out, watch some channels of the gurus, pick carefully. You don't have to pay money to learn. Stay up on the trends, and YouTube itself will teach you stuff. They have their own internal lessons. Missy.
I say my advice is don't get discouraged. Some people can be really mean and leave really mean comments on there, and I just basically take it with a grain of salt because you're always going to have that. Don't get discouraged and don't let people's mean comments bother you. Keep going. Just keep going at it. And because sometimes I'm only at a little over 2,000 subscribers, which I think that's good, for me, just living in a small town and stuff. And not everybody likes vintage stuff. I love it, but just keep going. Don't get discouraged. That's my advice.
I would agree with that. And then do it because you really like it. Like, do it because you want to have fun with it. And like, I enjoy editing. I enjoy shooting. I like the whole thing. Because if you don't, it will it's impossible to continue to do that, I think. Because if you don't like it, the amount of work that goes into a video or like doing one a day, one every other day, 3 a week is insane. You'll really find out real fast how much time it takes to do this. If you don't really enjoy it, it's not gonna work. So just make sure you really enjoy it and have fun with it and stuff, and stick with it, and don't get discouraged because views go like this.
Yeah.
They're just like eBay. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I would say what everybody else has said, I totally agree. But also compare yourself to you. Don't compare yourself to other people, even ones that start at the same time as you, because everybody's going to grow at their own rate. There are people that started with me that are like at 50,000 subscribers right now. And then there are other people that haven't hit 1,000. So you got to compare yourself just to you and better yourself. Like Yvonne was saying, eventually, get better equipment like microphone or camera, and you will get more comfortable. My first videos are up as well, and I am not going to watch them. But go look at some of the bigger channels' first videos, and it'll make you feel better. Like you aren't going to feel as bad when you see, like, everybody starts somewhere. And definitely be active in the community, be helpful in these chats, and then people are going to wonder who you are, and they'll kind of seek you out, I think. Go ahead, Yvonne.
I was gonna say something about etiquette too. When you're networking, don't be shysty and spammy. Don't advertise your channel in someone else's chat unless they're your friends and they're cool with it. And even then, at least drop them a super chat. But and don't beg for people to be on people's shows. Earn your respect and street cred by being helpful in the chats, like Kat said, and you'll be invited. You'll be invited. You might have to start with being invited by some of the smaller channels as they're trying to grow, but you'll work your way up.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, the shameless plugs are not appreciated. They just aren't, and it doesn't look great. So I would agree with that. Pame says, I have a lot of glass plates and serving pieces. How do you store your items?
I took over my guest room. Okay, we're older. We don't have children in the house. I had an extra room downstairs. I took it over. I bought cheap shelves from thrift stores, flea markets. It's there. I don't know. Sometimes I put paper between delicate pieces. Oh, if it's a real high-end piece, like I have a piece of Fire and Light that's about $300 or $400, it is in a box to be protected, and it is on a special shelf. Clothing, I leave most of my clothing hung up, unless it's just something that won't get wrinkled if I fold it up nicely. But most of my higher end clothing I keep hung up until it's time to be delivered, so it doesn't smell or get wrinkled.
Well, to be quite honest, I have a hoard of stuff right over here.
Right off camera.
Yes. I have a basement that we put shelves in. So like the stuff that I list on eBay, the stuff that's listed goes downstairs on shelves, and the stuff that's not listed is over here in my death pile, which is huge. I just tried to have a garage sale last week or the week before, and I did really well. I got rid of a bunch of stuff. Well, then I went to the bins again and got 2 sacks of stuff. So it just is a never ending cycle. Hopefully someday I can get my shed, but they're really expensive. But someday, maybe.
Yeah, storing items. I have 3-bedroom house. I've taken over two of these bedrooms. I have a storage unit for like intake, and then I have kind of like a semi-intake if it's not such a big haul in the garage. And I have like some tables, and I can sort things very quickly, clean them, bring them in, put them on the shelves, and then keep moving. But it takes up a lot of space too. Everything. I mean, just large quantities of space.
Yeah, I just put stuff in bins and on shelves. I have display shelves in this shed for like my more expensive stuff and my stuff I like that I want to see. And then I just mark them with a letter so I can find them. But there's no rhyme or I do have one clothing rack. So some clothing is hung up, but not all of it. Some of it's folded and in bins. I really don't have a rhyme or reason. And I don't know that you necessarily have to. You just need to be able to find it when it sells. That's to me the most important part of that. When I find everything on a Monday and I have 40 orders, I am so happy it's not funny. You know, I'm like, yes, I found everything. That's like a small victory for me. Dave, I saw your super chat too, Tesla Picker. I will give you a dolphin in a minute. I did see it. I will grab it after we answer this question. Yes, we'll give him a dolphin already. Joan wants to know, how do you know what to pick and check and what to look over?
You know, we were talking about this just the other night on another show, and the more that you do this, the more stuff you see. You're going to start seeing the same things as thrift stores over and over. You're going to start seeing the same stuff, and you're going to be like, okay, there's too much of that. Obviously, nobody cares about it, or you'll start knowing how much should I pay for something, and through time, you'll just be able to go through something more quickly. You'll be like, seeing that, you know, and then plus you want to think about, do you have some passion for some certain niches? Like I watched Julian for his golf clubs. Golf clubs are in every thrift store, but I know nothing about them. But I know enough from Julian and previous people that there is money in there if I knew what I was doing. So, you know, I do research too.
That's what I do. I do research and also like watch other people's channels, and then you'll know like what's popular right now and like what's in style, because things change all the time. And like sometime just like not too long ago, fairy lamps were really popular. I was selling fairy lamps for a lot of money, and I mean they're still kind of popular, but I've noticed the price, you know, gradually goes down. Like I don't sell them for as much. So
I started with things that I knew like right off the bat. So I knew what, you know, what a fisherman wanted to actually buy, or what, you know, golf club there was, or what tool people actually use in the garage. And then slowly I've went into other things like glass. I actually picked up a plush the other day, picked up a Mario. I mean, I wasn't looking in the plush bins, you know, 6 months ago. So it's slowly just kind of like looking at YouTube and everything and what sold, and talking to the community on really what, and Instagram. Big fan of Instagram.
People that post bolos
all the time. Yep.
Yeah. And I post bolos over there. Julian does. Like so many people post those, and it takes time to learn what to pick up. And if you just start, like, I pick up what looks interesting to me, and it might look interesting to me because I like it, or it might look interesting because I saw it sell for high dollar on somebody else's what sold. You know, there are different reasons, but what you learn as you go. And even if you don't know, just start picking stuff up and checking it, and you might be surprised. I sold a wicker basket for like $50 that I was going to throw out just because I was like, let me see if this basket worth anything. $50, and I almost threw it out with the trash. So look stuff up, and you'd be really surprised at what some people will pay for stuff. I'm going to give him a dolphin, and then I'm going to tell him something, even though he gave me money. Hold on. Here's Dave's dolphin.
Super chat.
Dave, you just had a video hit 100,000 views in like 2 days, my friend.
You shout us out.
Yeah, you need to shout all of us out.
Yeah, that
Please.
video's.
Go edit that video. No.
Redo the video.
Check
Put me in it.
We need a shout out from you. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Terry has a question for Yvonne. How is your booth doing? And I'm going to assume that is, do you regret getting it?
I want to say one more thing about that last topic. Another good way to find out what I do is people that I trust, like Kat and Julian, because I'm trying to, learn some new things that he sells, Jocelyn, Antique. So I've got a long list of people's eBay stores that I follow, and I go in and I look at their solds because I trust these people. I trust them. So, and I kind of know where and how they get things. Okay. So anyways, hi, Terry. The booth is doing fine. We're on, let's see, this will be month 8. I'm been consistently in the black. That's right. Black is the good pin, right? The money pin, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Black is
red is when not good. I've been consistently in the black. And I've got the smallest booth possible. I'm still afraid to put high-end items in it. So I will say that I'm only maybe clearing $200 or $300 a month, but I have had no breakage except for what I broke myself, and no theft. So little by little, I'm going to try to put higher end items, and clothing's doing well in there too. As a matter of fact, I'll be going there tomorrow to restock. So no, Terry, so far I don't regret it. I enjoyed. I'm to the point where I can just go there once a week now, and then I like to go shopping and thrift and film something. So I kind of want to keep it. And I'm meeting so many other local resellers that are helping me, giving me tips things I didn't know about. They're big on going to auctions, and I don't do auctions online or offline. Kat and Jocelyn make me want to, but I haven't done it yet.
Yes, I love my
Thank
auctions.
you, Terry.
I'm not sure what Laura. Huh? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Missy.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just curious. If you don't mind me asking, Yvonne, what do you pay for a monthly rent for your booth? Because, like, I was thinking about getting a booth, but here in Iowa, in Des Moines, the city, it's $280 a month.
What size? Missy, I can barely hear
like
you.
You can
Come a little
barely hear
closer,
me.
sweetie. There you go. You're pretty anyways. Okay.
Thank you. It's an 8x8, I believe. It's either 8x8 or 10x10. It's not very big. And they charge $280 a month, plus they take 10% of what you sell.
And you're going to the major city, Des Moines.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the second largest city in Colorado, just down from Denver. So we're not huge, but we're significant. Mine's a 10x7, so let's say they're about the same. Mine's a 10x7, and so it's not real big. I pack it from floor to ceiling, but I pay $180, and that's $10, and then $10 electric, and there's no credit card processing. There's no 10% commission. Now the caveat to this is they are closed Monday and Tuesday. Lord knows why Tuesday. I understand Monday. That's pretty common. Tuesday, I don't know. And I can tell you the other antique marketplace. I need to back up. Mine is Willowstone Marketplace. It's antiques, vintage, flea market. There's a big important in this town auction house in the back. So you can sell anything and everything. It gets a big draw of people who like anything. The other one has a ratio of antiques that they try to keep. They're a little more expensive, 10% commission, processing fee. So that for Des Moines, Iowa, that's a big city, but still, there's got to be more. We only have 2 or 3 in my town. There's got to be check around. There's got to be something cheaper. That's a lot.
It is. And even in my little town here in Knoxville, a place up on the square, I think it's tiny. It's just a tiny little spot. I don't know. I would say maybe 4x4, like the shelving unit, and it's still $50 a month. And they charge you so many percentage of it. I think they charge you 20 actually here in my town. It's crazy. So that's why I was like, I'm not getting a booth.
Are they full? Because that sounds so expensive.
It is. It's expensive. I mean, some booths last, some booths don't. You always see empty spaces, but I just would rather sell the stuff myself and have my house hoarded. So.
Yeah.
I like it because of the drag and drop. There's things that are too big for me to ship, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I gotta save it. So I like the drag and drop. If you get my drift on that, and I just like the interaction. And I don't know, I'm just a social butterfly. But I'll tell you what I like even more than eBay, is the live sales. I'm just now. I've watched the general merchandise community has always done this for years and years and years, but the vintage community is somewhat new at doing them, and I've watched them level up. I just did one with Misty. She's a friend of Kat's too, so I'm pretty sure I can say Misty. And woo, it was good. I sold like almost $1,000, and that, yeah, Kat, you were there, almost $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, that was crazy. That made me think about, and like actually Yvonne and I are talking about doing it. I might do a live sale with her because I saw how much money they were making, and I was like, whoa, like I might need to, like once a month or something do this. Laura's asking the percent for live sales. Laura, if you're asking like the percent somebody takes, like nobody takes a percent of that yet. YouTube might catch on to that at some point, but I don't. They might catch on, but unless you're asking like if the people do a buyer's premium, but I don't think that's commonplace, is it really, guys?
I haven't heard of it.
On the live sales that we do on YouTube?
Yeah, I think that's what she means.
Or
I'm not sure. She might have to like elaborate.
What is our markup? Or elaborate.
Yep. Joan wants to know, do any of us incorporate packaging, material costs, and fees you are charged into the buyer's cost?
Shipping. I do my own. I don't use calculated shipping on eBay, anyways. I add a little bit extra, maybe 75 cents or so, because I'm gonna, like Kat said earlier, I got a box. I try to use recycle as much as possible, but some things I do have to pay for.
Well, me, I always try to at least double my money on whatever I buy. I always at least try to double it, if not quadruple it, because packing materials are super expensive. They are so expensive. Like, I used to get my packing materials for free because my boyfriend's mom worked at 3M, and so she was able to order me like bubble wrap and tape and all that stuff for free. Well, now she just retired, so I don't get that benefit anymore. So I've been having to go to Walmart and buy my bubble wrap and tape. But I do go. Here is a tip for anybody that is a reseller. If you have a Dollar Tree, go to your local Dollar Tree and they will give you boxes for free. They will give you all their boxes. Well, at least mine does. I can't say for everyone's Dollar Tree, but that's where I get the majority of my boxes to ship, is the Dollar Tree. And then also off the Priority app, I'll get those priority boxes for free. But
yeah, I mean, you got to know your numbers and how much you have to make on that item and stuff. So if I'm shipping something large, like there's a couple things back there that are large, I know that I have to go buy a big box or buy a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to make the money that I want to make on it, so they will be added in. But I sell a lot of things that aren't breakable, so I don't use a lot of bubble wrap or anything like that. So but definitely, if you're not using USPS priority free shipping stuff shipped to your house, go ahead and start doing that.
Yeah, so I don't mine is pretty much paid, and I would say probably everyone should be, as long as you're buying smart with your shipping supplies. The you get a 20% discount from eBay for priority and for FedEx and UPS. So they charge a 10% fee. So you have 10% of that shipping cost that you can use towards a box and bubble wrap. And like from American Bubble Boy, you get 4 250-foot rolls for $36 delivered. Like, so it's only $8 if I used a whole roll of bubble wrap. And if I just made $300 of profit, I'm okay. I don't ever use a whole roll on one thing.
Sure.
I'm live. What are you doing? Yeah, you got your blanket. Hello, Kayla. That is Julian's other half, for those of you that do not know. Thank you for joining us.
She just sent the super chat that fell off for you.
I'm gonna grab it. I am 20 minutes behind right now. I'm gonna assume this goes to Julian. Julian, what do you use to clean tools?
A lot of it I use this if it's not, because I stay away from super rusty ones, but Ren cleaning action. It's actually for like a you can clean anything. It's just cleaning oil and a little brass brush. Or if it's really bad, I like Vapor Rust. A lot of people use like vinegar and stuff. I just buy Vapor Rust off of Amazon and then just soak stuff in there. But if it's super rusted, just call it a day. I mean, if the metal's pitted and everything like that.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the same thing I was doing. That's his favorite question. What are you doing? No. Teacher treasure chest. Where is the best place to buy a shed? Any companies to avoid and advice on sheds? I know I have 2 of them. Well, really 3. Does anybody else have sheds, or is this for me?
I wish.
Okay, it's for me. I went to a local company, and I love this one I'm in now. This one, so I went to local companies for both. So the first one is my 12 by 24, where I have storage for listed items. That one is metal, and it was pretty cheap. It was like $5,000, I think, like delivered and set up for a 12 by 24. But in Florida, you have to insulate, you have to heat and cool, because otherwise, especially if you do clothes or anything that is porous, it will get mold and mildew. So you have to take that into account. And that one, I got small windows, so all I can do is like the portable AC unit. And I did the fiberglass insulation. So when I bought this one, I had this one custom built, my 12 by 40. It is wood. It is not metal side. So the wood is thicker. I went with spray and insulation, which was more, it actually ended up about the same amount, but I think you need to kind of calculate that in. My 12 by 40 was $12,000. I don't think that is horrible. I am making payments on it, and it's Amish built, and it's amazing as far as the quality. It's absolutely amazing. And then the spray and insulation was $2,300, and I got carpet because I wanted to be bougie with my shed, I guess. Because I'm in here so much. I'm in here probably more than I'm in my house, you know. So I wanted to be comfortable in here. And get down and get your car. And I would say just check around, because the one I got for $5,000 was listed for $8,000 in other places, and I found both of them on Facebook Marketplace. This one that I had built was a place that was an hour away, so I did drive, but I looked at a bunch of pictures before I decided what company, but I definitely like the wood. If you want something cheap, you can get like a cheap metal shed. Like I said, that one was new, and it ended up being cheaper than a used shed. So the used ones were like $2,000 to $3,000, but then it was going to cost me $1,000 to get it moved. And I got a brand new one for the same price, because with a brand new one, setup and delivery is free. So keep that in mind if you're trying to save money and go used. By the time you pay for setup and delivery, you might be able to buy a new one for the same price, is what I ran into. So, and it took time. I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years, like hardcore, investing everything back in. And when I say investing it back in, that includes the sheds. The $5,000 one I paid cash for. This one, of course, I did not, but I paid over 33% of it off in 6 months. So not horrible, but yeah. So here's a funny thing, and I'm going to call myself out in front of all 338 people in the chat. Those filters are not listed. So that might be why they haven't sold. So I have the Porsche filters listed, which have been selling. And then I have 2 pallets of these other air filters. And I'm like, did I list those? Guess what? They still, to this minute, are not listed. So I might try and list them first before I burn them. But Hurricane Julian might not be here for a couple of months. So, you know, we have some time. But
Yep.
you can't sell it if it's not listed. And I didn't realize that they are not listed.
It's pretty funny, though.
So, yeah. Yes, yeah. And Mick has a good point here. Like, you want those 20 to 40-year-olds, like Yvonne saying, like, vintage was in. That's why, you know, getting interested in it. And what people are interested in is going to change. So being, like, kind of in the community and seeing that stuff is going to change, you know, with time. Stuff's going to go in and out of popularity. Prices are going to go up. Prices are going to go down. So you just have to keep an eye on it. Look, yeah, Dave, we all have old videos. You know, it happens. But it makes new people feel better. Go look at some of your bigger channels' first videos and you will feel better. I don't know of any that have deleted them. Mine are still all up there.
They're
From the first
evergreen.
one up and down,
Yep.
you know.
I dropped the mic.
Half
I
your
noticed
head
my
fall
very
off.
first one. Julian, I'm sorry, hon. I noticed my very first one made a couple pennies last week, so somebody was watching my backstock.
Nice.
Sorry, Julian.
No, that's not bad. I was just saying, like, half your head's cut off and you're talking down. Oh, did it? You gotta do those bad ones.
And you're very scared, and you know it happens. Anonymous wants to know: do any of you have something you wish you did differently when you first started? I'm going to assume anonymous means reselling. So, when you started reselling, is there something you wish you did differently when you started?
Okay, I'm gonna start with the eBay because I've been doing this forever. I wish I would have started eBay sooner.
I wish that I would have started my YouTube channel way sooner. I wish I would have started back 10 years ago when I first started reselling and redoing my furniture and stuff like that. But what first got me hooked on eBay was I went to a garage sale, and this was like, I think it was now 3 years ago, because I'm still kind of new to eBay and selling online. Because I used to sell, when I was a reseller 10 years ago, I've always sold on Facebook Marketplace. That's it, locally. I never, ever shipped anything until just a few years ago. But I was at a garage sale on my birthday, actually, and I seen a set of the Sexton kitties, the metal Sexton mid-century Siamese kitties. And they were $1/4 for the set. And I'm like, cool, you know, these look awesome. I'm going to pick them up because they caught my eye. And I got out in the car and I looked them up on eBay and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I listed them when I got home. I sold them the very next day, paid $1/4, sold them for $101. So that's what got me hooked on selling on eBay. But there's nothing really I wish I would have done differently except for start my YouTube channel a long time ago.
I wish that I did custom SKUs from day one. I have lots of stuff to have. It's like just I'm looking for that stuff and looking for it and not numbered. And so start with a custom SKU.
I agree with Julian. I wish because like in the beginning you have 100 or 200 items and you do know where they all are. And then you turn around, you have 500, then you have 1,000. And then you're like, well, where did I put that? And you can't remember. So I agree with that. And if you are talking about YouTube, same thing, like Missy said, like just start. Like I wish I had started years ago, you know, but I didn't. Diana over on Facebook wants to know if any of us take pics when we're thrifting to look up later as a way of learning.
I've done that a couple of times, but usually if I can get good reception, I'll comp it and try to ID it right there.
That's the same with me. I usually try to look it up right away so I'm not wasting my money, or because that's one thing I've learned. from starting out is, everything is worth something. Things are worth more. So it's best just to look it up before you buy it.
That is true. And I have noticed when I'm filming, I see a lot more that I missed.
That's it.
Later on.
That's it.
I think my last video, I missed some. Me and Caleb were sitting there. I thought it was like a $2,000 speaker. Luckily, that wasn't the model number, but I'm looking at it. I was like, what is this thing? And I looked it up. So I usually look up everything when I can. And if I don't know, I don't buy it type of thing. But having a camera on you is like one of those things that you just see all the stuff that you miss. And then I do look it up and then I cry. Because I didn't know.
That's the big issue. What Julian pointed out is the big issue.
Yeah, and I've noticed that now that I'm doing more thrifting videos. So I'm not taking pictures, but when I'm going back and editing, I'm like, how did I not see that? And I look stuff up at that point from my video because I'm like, okay, well, maybe it'll be there, when I go back to the thrift store. So in a way, I do that. I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing, but if you have time, look it up while you're there, because if it's worth it, you can go ahead and pick it up. Laura, if you have a way to test it, I would test the Wii. I don't test anything like that, really, personally. I just sell it as untested. Zarbach. How do you keep track of your stuff and sales? A homemade spreadsheet, or are you using one that connects to eBay for a bunch of detail?
Well, I used to just count on eBay because that pretty much was my spreadsheet. But now that I'm having live sales and I have the booth, now I've got to do the really fun part of reselling and keep hard copies or whatever on the computer of inventory.
I'm old school and I write everything down in a notebook. I'm not very tech savvy or anything like that. Like I said, I'm using my son's laptop right now as we speak. So I actually just started using this laptop the last live sale that I had to film on, because my phone, my iPhone 11 right here, this expensive phone, decided to tell me it's out of memory. I've been trying all day long to edit a video to get it uploaded to YouTube of me picking the bins, and I can't figure it out. So it's driving me nuts.
I will tell you with that, I had a problem with that with my phone, which is new, Samsung 20S, and with my computer that's like a month old. You have to go in and delete all your trash things. Like I have a lot of videos. I delete
and
them.
cache.
Yeah.
Or cache, however you say that. The caches get really big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all day long. I went through, actually, it took me like 5 hours. I deleted 3,500 pictures. I'm horrible about deleting things.
And for the spreadsheet, I use QuickBooks on my phone. Everything's like automated, and then eBay does a really good job on like sales and stuff. But everything that I do is automated on my phone, like what I buy, my mileage, blah blah blah. It's not free. You have to pay a monthly thing to get the one that I have to make it easier. But it's like pretty easy. Like you can take pictures of receipts.
And I don't use any spreadsheet. I hate spreadsheets, and I remember most of the time what I paid, but I don't like care so much about the individual items. It's more money in, money out, and like the lots or that auction buy that it is in the, in the profit. And I have an accountant who tracks my monthly like sales. eBay will show you, this much went to fees, this much went to shipping. So that's nice. It'll give you a monthly overview. But as far as like individual items, I have 3,200 items. I am not going to write that down or do a spreadsheet. It just is not realistic for me. It might be realistic for some people, but I would rather use my time listing and making more money than a spreadsheet that really is not doing anything for me except for me to look at it, So that is what I say. Hello, Harry Humstone. I'm sorry I've missed your lives lately. I've been super busy. I apologize. I love Harry's lives. Harry used to go live regular, and that was like my nightcap every night when Harry was live. But he has not been going live that regular. How to list easy. Best tip on how to list easy.
and not me. Okay.
I don't
on
know what
eBay-
that means. I'm just thinking list easy period online.
I'll just answer for my eBay. I do have a Poshmark store, but haven't been keeping up with it. I'm going to transition it to a Tall Girl store. I'll just talk about eBay. For me, quick and easy. My phone. Take the pictures. I can take them into square format like eBay already wants. Upload them immediately. I've got templates. I've got text replacement shortcuts. Quick and easy. Missy. Okay, Julian.
My turn. I'm on with you. I do all my phone. I do eBay and a little bit of Facebook Marketplace, but mostly eBay. So everything's done on my phone. And then you need to have a process. Like if you do, I think it's a good thing. Like one day I'll do only shoes. One day I'll only do tools. One day I'll only do golf clubs. And I pre-prep them like 30, 40, 50, whatever I want to list that day. I prep them that night and you will cruise through them.
Yeah. And I started the batch photographs too, where I do like 10 or 20. Right now I have 30 on my phone because I know I am working 2 12-hour shifts the next 2 days. So if I have downtime or on my lunch, I am going to be listing. So I photographed 30 items and those are on my phone right now for my next 2 work days. So batching them, and if they're similar, it's nice. You can sell similar from your own where like the price is still the same. If I have like similar shirts or similar glassware, I did all of my paperweights together. I don't do descriptions, so that makes it easier and faster for me. You sell similar, definitely, because that saves a lot of time. Just change what is applicable here. Sorry, he's playing with the car on my keyboard. Zelodius, I'm going to answer mine real quick because then I'm going to mute and try and move the car. When I use my phone to record, I use this. This is Ceramonic. This is an amazing wireless microphone that sounds amazing for voiceovers and for when you're recording with your phone. And now, though, with my Sony ZV-1, the mic on it is amazing, so I just use that.
I have, for filming for YouTube on my iPhone, I have a lavalier, which just plugs into the bottom. You can clip it here. I've got different ones. I've got ones that are this long of a length that while I'm holding my phone, it just dangles off my thumb. I've got ones that are like this. I also have a set of wireless for like when my daughter and I want to go. Like it can be wireless.
Adobe. I don't use a microphone. I just use my iPhone with the microphone that's on my iPhone 11. That's all I use. I don't use a microphone. I have a GoPro. I don't use it. I never have. I just feel more comfortable using my phone.
When I'm GoProing, I don't use it. I just talk loudly. And same thing with my phone. I just scream a lot, really. So that's why I don't do a lot of in-store stuff because I'm like talking loud. People are like, what is this guy doing? So I do not use a wireless mic or any other type of microphone. I'm using the computer mic right now.
Same.
So I don't have one.
For eclectic, Yvonne, I just sold my first Fire and Light soap dish. Yay!
Good job.
That's my best video. That in a what sold video, but only because it's my trailer. There's no commercials. It's 4 minutes, down and dirty, what sold. But my second best, I'll call it semi-viral, only because it's so niched that I think 20,000 views is pretty well. But when I learned about Fire and Light, I secretly told some of my better friends because I'm like, I need to do a pay it forward. At the time, it was George and Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady. I'm like, I learned so much from you guys. Here's a pay it forward before I drop a video and tell the whole world. So thank you everyone that's watched it. Thank you everyone that took my advice and has made money.
Yes. Julian, I lost Kayla's super chat. It skipped. Kayla, I'm going to give you a dolphin, and I can't even read the whole thing. I see first time doing a super chat, but I don't think Julian ... What did she say?
She said something like she doesn't think I can do one, and she was saying thanks for being nice to me, and that I'm wonderful, and some other
we're
nice
gonna get
things. And
Kayla, I lost your super chat. Here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
She said so much nice things about everybody here. It was crazy.
She loves us all.
Yeah.
I got it. All of us. I just also, if it skipped that means I probably skipped a bunch of questions. So if I haven't answered you, definitely put it back in. Thrift Daddy wants to know, no, I did not have to get zoning approval, but I'm in the middle of nowhere and own 11 acres. And the law here is like, if it is pre-built and moved on, like it has to be tied down for hurricane winds. So like my sheds are tied down to withstand over 150 mile an hour winds. That is the only for zoning. Now, if I built it on property, I would have to get more zoning. But since it was pre-made, I did not have to get any zoning, which was nice. Yeah, laugh at me all you want, because I was like, did I list them? Did I list them? I threw his car.
Oh no.
Whoops. So yeah, laugh away. What did you list that you thought was going to sell and it didn't, or didn't sell for as much?
Wait a minute. What did you list that you guys thought was going to sell and it didn't sell for as much? I don't think I've run into that. I've had the opposite. I don't do a lot of auctions. There's specific reasons that I will do auctions, such as a fire and light item, and then I always started at the least I'm going to take for something. I thought it was going to sell and it didn't, or didn't sell for much. I don't know how to answer that. Can I pass?
Passing is allowed here, yes.
Well, actually, I've had quite a few things. I'll like, for instance, a fairy lamp. I had a Fenton fairy lamp. I listed it. I thought it would sell for a lot more money, and it didn't. So, but I mean, sometimes it just depends.
Did you auction it though?
I did auction one, and I had one in my live sale. So, and both of them didn't. So, I mean, they did okay, just not what I thought they would do.
I would say I probably have like a ton of things, but things that come into my head is going to be like, I have a ton of hats. I picked them up because I thought they were cool. Turns out nobody else did on eBay because I still got them. I know hats are long tail and everything, but I mean, these are like, they've been sitting there a while.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I'm like, this hat is awesome. It's got to sell. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I have the big ceramic Christmas tree still sitting here, and the little one sold for $95 in 2 days, and the big one's still sitting here, but I'm not going to go down on price. Somebody eventually will give me what I want, and it can sit on the shelf until it's gone, because, yeah. Yeah, I think that they're setting up some kind of signal blockers.
Some of them, I think so too. Maybe not really for us specifically, but for their employees not to be on the phones. I don't know. There are a couple that I can't. I got to go literally to their front door and stand there and make it open, hold my phone through.
Sorry, I was having a fight with a 3-year-old.
That's okay. I just had
that's funny. Like, I scream at myself and I'm like, how did I miss that? But you're like so zoned in and you see what you see. Like, I miss like this antique footstool at the little thrift store up the road from me. And I really hope it's there when I go again, because I'm like, how did I, and it was right in front of me and I didn't even see it. Yvette, I did not quit because I need medical insurance. I went down to 2 days a week. So like I work tomorrow and Thursday, and then I'll work again Sunday, but then after Sunday, I'm off 5 days. So basically like every other week I have a 5-day off stint, and then I'm off 3 days instead of 2. So I'm down to 2. That's the least I can do with keeping my benefits. I would like to get to less, but I need my benefits. Like Dalton is only 3, so he has checkups and shots, and I'm sure we'll do sports and things like that. And yeah, so I have to have benefits. Listen, I am trying, and he is not making it easy. I don't know if you guys see my face when I'm trying. You see him climbing?
Okay, it's okay.
He's so cute.
This is what's beside me that you're not seeing. Yeah.
All right.
And he's running his car over the keyboard is what's driving me so bonkers. But that is reality. And I've gotten crap before for him being here. But you know what? He's the reason I'm doing this, to be home with him more. So if people don't like it, they can leave. You know, that's just the bottom line for me. Because he's the reason I want to, you know, do more reselling and be home more, even though he's driving me up the wall right this second. Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Girl, aka the other Katie, wants to know, Yvonne, when did you start live sales?
Again, as far as in the vintage community, in the beginning, I'll be forthcoming, I wasn't really impressed, but it's leveled up and I see people selling better quality items for fair prices. So I think my first one, I started out with a jewelry sale. I bought jewelry specifically for my viewers, and I pretty much just added $1 or $2 and let them buy it, and it went really well. And so that kind of helped me to learn how to do it. And so then I did, I tried to spin on that. I did a clothing haul because I got back into clothing. So I did a clothing haul reseller chat, and then first dibs. So while I'm talking to resellers about how I sell clothing and, you know, whatever, I'm showing the items as well. And I'm like, email me. It wasn't really a live sale. I'm like, email me, and whoever's first, you know, this is what I would list it for on eBay. I'm going to give you a little off. Email me. I ended up selling about 12 items that way from that rack, and I'm getting ready to do part 2. And then I did a live sale with Misty the other day. We talked about that already. Kat was there, and that was phenomenal. So I've got some booked. I've got one booked with Kat coming up. I've got one booked with George the Antique Nomad. A couple other people, Fatbird Finds. So sorry, am I answering your question? Okay, 2.5, 3 months ago.
It's so easy to get sidetracked.
Sorry, because you know there was like different, like the live sales that are going on right now in the vintage community I'm talking about. That I've only done one, and that was on somebody else's channel, and then the other was my own spin.
Yeah, so you're pretty recent. Lucinda, I don't know why Instagram won't let you do ads or promote. I don't do that. I don't know if anybody else does. Marion, I am glad you are enjoying it. Thank you for watching over on Facebook. I appreciate it. Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Gal, I pay $59.99 a month, and that goes up to $10,000, which I love. It used to be sorry guys. That used to be go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
He said, that's mine.
Sorry, that was a loud shriek because it was in my ear. I can imagine over the camera. So it used to be only 1,000, and then at the beginning of this year, they increased it to 10,000, which was amazing and is perfect for me because I can keep pushing to get my listings up and not have to worry about it costing more. Now it's up to 10,000 listings for $59.99, which is a great price. That's a great price. Southern Mom, what is the easiest editing program for YouTube? I have an iPhone and a GoPro.
I don't have a GoPro because I can do what a GoPro does with my phone. Oh man, I don't like this. I don't like to give. Okay, I'm not trying to be a brat, but there are some tips I don't like to give out. But there's a chest mount for your iPhone, and so I can do that in just a little peeky hole. And I think I did tell Kat.
And I mean, everybody does it different. Everybody's gonna do it different.
But it's very discreet.
So what editing do you use, like iMovie to edit?
So predominantly, I will do my first rough draft with iMovie just because it's so darn easy and clean and fast. Now it has some transitions and bells and whistles, but if I want to say I think I'll take a little extra time with this video, then I'll transfer it to another app that I have that's super cool. And if I really want to bring out the big guns, then I'll send it into the cloud and grab it off my computer, and I've got some software. I don't do that too often. That's just if I really feel like I want to I don't know if I feel like I have extra time, but there are plenty of free apps. Look at the rating when you go to the app store. Check the rating, do reviews, because there are a few of them that are really good. I don't pay for any of them but one. It's only like $29 a year, but it has a certain filter and transition that I wanted. So iMovie's awesome though, quick and easy. Upload to YouTube so fast, 4K if you want.
I use Viva Video. I pay, I think, $29.95 a year. And well, actually today I was just doing research on my app store to find a new app because I'm trying all damn day to upload this video and I can't get it. I can't. It won't let me. It says, for some reason, it says when I upload the videos or each clip, and it says downloading 1 through 18, and then it says can't download. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I went through and deleted over 3,000 photos today, and I still can't get it to work. So
And you saved it in the right format?
yes.
I'd run it through. Is it iMovie you used?
No, it's Viva Video.
Oh. And are you sure it's the the right format?
Well, I don't know. It's
Okay.
I go
Check
to
that.
add my clips, and then when I add, like, I'll have like 20 some different clips, and I'll add them, and then it'll say downloading, and then it'll say download failed. So
Take it. Your iPhone, right?
yes,
Take it back to iMovie.
go back to iMovie.
We are getting trolled hard in the chat, guys. If you are a moderator,
bad, I wasn't going to say anything. It is bad.
please
They're
tell me.
nasty.
Well, my camera died. Dalton hit the button, which also all of these trolls are also going to make me lose questions, unfortunately, because it's going to make my chat scroll.
We got most of them. That's why
I-
I'm over to my
I
left.
can't read the chat very much.
They're on it.
I
can
use
block
KineMaster. I don't know if Julian, did you answer? I use KineMaster, but I have a Android, and I just wirelessly send over my GoPro clips to my phone. I use my phone for all editing.
I use my computer. I use Filmora X.
What app?
It's an actual software, Filmora X.
Filmora?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Wondershare Filmora.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one for the computer. That's
Yeah,
open source too, isn't it?
Yeah, I can because I do a lot of I have a GoPro, and now we're doing dual GoPros with me and Kayla, so I can do different things. I just download it all into that, and then I usually have a phone also that I'm working with, so it's I have a lot going on, so I have to sit down. For me, it's easier to sit down on the computer and get all that stuff in there, edit it, and then I do little. I'm editing my films more. Let's just say that a lot more.
And I don't see the question anymore, but I think it smells like corn chips said it sounds like we aren't keeping track for accounting purposes. I will tell you, legally, all the government cares about is how much you spend and how much you make and what your profit is. That's it. They don't care if you paid $1 for this and $5 for that. They want to know how much you spent, how much you made, and what your profit is. So I believe 4 years ago, the government changed where you don't have to keep an inventory. And this is from my certified public accountant who is licensed. You can use money in, money out, and it's simply what you're spending and what you're making. And that's it. You don't have to do any inventory.
They're not even going to look. It's no place to put it on your tax return. That's for your accountant or you if you're your accountant.
To know the numbers, and the numbers are all that matters.
I'm glad you backed up to that because that was really rude, and I didn't want people to get the wrong impression. And eBay takes out sales tax. I'm paying my sales tax. I think you guys are too. And
Right.
I want to report everything I make because I want my tax return to look good. What if I want to buy a big house or something? I don't know. I want to look like I make some money.
Yeah.
And I pay my accountant $170 a month to do all of that. And that's all that matters. So it's not cutting corners. It's not in my opinion. And I do have friends that are spreadsheet groupies, and that's fine. If you want to take the time to put it into a spreadsheet, then do it. But for me, I feel like it's not worth it. I remember what I paid for the item approximately. I know what I'm going to sell it for, and I buy at 10 to 20% of what I'm selling for. So I have 80% to 90% of leeway where I'm not going to lose money. And I'm not going to say I don't ever, because I make bad buys, but all they care about is your profit. They don't care about anything else. Yvonne, did you link that for the Kitschy Corner, the fire and light video?
I can. I'll go do it right now. Thank you. Thank you,
Yep.
Kat. Thank you.
Yeah. Your secondhand roses eBay, what percentage of your sale comes from offers made? Does anybody know that?
Offers that we send out? Where we're
I'm assuming so, yes. Yeah.
I'd say about 25%. If I send out 10 of them that night while I'm watching a movie, I might get 2 or 3 takers. Sometimes I get counter offers on what I sent out.
That's the same with me. I would say probably about the same. If I send out like 10 offers, then maybe I'll get like 1 or 2.
I'm going to say I'm like right on those same numbers. Yep. I sent out 10, 1, 2. Definitely a low counter, low ball. That's going to be in there. So.
And a lot of people counter offer too, and sometimes I'll accept it or counter back.
But
I think I'm about the same. But that's 2 sales that you didn't have without sending offers, so I always send them. I don't know, Joy. They just decided to come in. I'm not sure who dropped us on Reddit, but it's okay. We have good moderators in there, and thank you, all of you. I know I saw Carol was grabbing some. I'm sure Richard was grabbing some. Everybody.
I must have missed it.
I'm going to highlight this, and it's really negative, and I'm going to highlight it because I'm going to jump on a soapbox for a minute, which I don't do often, but I do. So Nixon Barley, eBay/Feebay puts your inventory in front of millions of people. If you think you can do that for less than what you pay them, go ahead, but I guarantee you can't. And broken stuff might be from sellers that aren't taking care, but I personally have not ever gotten anything broken off of eBay. I get ticked off at eBay. Do not get me wrong. eBay pisses me off sometimes, but nowhere else are you going to get your stuff, especially secondhand, vintage, unique, in front of the audience that eBay provides for you. The fee that they charge is minimal compared to what you get for it. That's my soapbox, and that's all I'm going to say. That's why I put that up, but you get what you pay for. I make 5% of my sales on Mercari. I make about 5% on Poshmark, and I pay Poshmark 20%, okay? I pay them more than I pay eBay. So I get a lot more for my money on eBay. I sold over $140,000 on eBay. I am happy to pay eBay their fees. I'm more than happy to pay them their fees.
Love my eBay.
Yep.
Even when they tick me off, and there are some bumps and some stuff that could be improved, but overall, you're not going to get that anywhere else. I think I already answered that. Michelle, is it about long tail sales or quick popular item sales or both? And I think we might all give different answers. So let's see what everybody says.
I do a little bit of both. I'll buy some items knowing that it's going to take just the right person, because I'm kind of drawn to the more unique items and collectors. So I'm okay. And then sometimes I'll see an item that is not my groove at all, but I happen to know that it's a current moment. They're popping. I see one good enough price. I'll throw it in the mix with everybody else. So both.
Yep, I say both too. Just because I don't know. For instance, the other day I went to the bins and I bought a Bob the Builder plush. I don't usually buy plush because I'm into vintage stuff, but I looked it up on eBay and they sell for quite a bit of money. So I just buy both. I do both because I do live sales too. So
yeah, I'm going to go with exactly what they said. I'm going to buy, if it's selling right now, I'll buy it for a quick flip. If I know it's going to sell in 3-6 months or something like that, if I need to find a certain buyer for it, I do this full time, so it's I still have room, so it's okay. Like I would say definitely both. I have in my store. I wish they were all like everything sold at once. I mean,
Yeah, that'd
I
be
would just
nice.
need
That
more
would be
bubble
nice.
wrap, really, from Bubble Boy, American Bubble
Yeah.
Boy. I would buy from there,
Well,
but
it'll be there in 2 days. You can ship it all out.
boom,
Um,
use Cat's thing, boom, done.
Yeah, that would be nice. I have long tail and quick selling as well. So I think a mix is good, but I think you need to look at your individual situation, because if you don't have much storage room or you're in an apartment in New York City, you better only buy fast selling popular stuff, because you're not going to have the space to keep the longer tail items. So you really need to look at how much space you have and kind of balance that. I have tons of space. If I needed to, I could buy another shed. I do not intend on buying another shed, but I could, if I wanted to. So I have plenty of room to get those longer tail. And most of the time, the longer tail for me are going to be the more profitable item, like my 1850s chairs, wrought iron, that are like 150 pounds each. They might take a year or two to sell. I had somebody message me interested in them from California, and they're like, the price is too high. And I'm like, look, my $1,400 per chair is the lowest that you're going to find online right now. So, and you're in California, so freight's going to be $700. So it wasn't the right chairs for them. I told them I would come down to $1,000 chair, which again is cheaper than anybody else that has these chairs. And, they said, oh, I thought it would go via priority mail. 150-pound wrought iron, 150-year-old chair, A, is too heavy. B, should be hand delivered because it might break. DMB, there you go. Junk to be Loved and Yvon Thrifty Rich. The link to everybody's channels is always down in the description, guys. Normally you can't see names because we're answering questions all night, so it takes away everybody's names, unfortunately. But there is who everybody is. Yvette wants to know, do any of us sell vintage items on niche sites, not eBay, Etsy, Posh, or Mercari? Like, do you have any other sites that you sell items on?
No, but I would consider the Real because sometimes I get some really nice designer clothing, and I would consider Cherish, because it seems like they get a little bit more sometimes for their decor pieces that are trending. So am I blurry, you guys on YouTube? You guys on YouTube, am I blurry? I just now noticed. I opened up us on YouTube.
Slightly.
Someone tell me in the chat. But anyways, that's all for me.
Slightly blurry.
Yeah, just a little blurry, Yvonne. Not too bad. I sell a lot of my vintage items on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is where I sell most of my items. I list a lot on eBay too, but Facebook Marketplace is where I list the majority of my items if I'm not putting them in a live sale.
No, I don't.
I don't list anywhere either. Jan has a question for Julian. Other than Craftsman, Snap-on, and Mac Tools, are there other brands that sell well?
Yeah, SK Tools is one of my fastest moving tools, especially if they're old. They can go for a ton of money if they're in good condition. Then you got like a whole bunch of machinist tools. There's a ton of those. I did say one in the chat. And then Matco is always a good brand. There's just so many out there, but those are the main ones.
Linda, it depends on the U-ship shipper. I've had people come in like a 40-foot Penske truck. I had somebody come with like a semi, and then I had somebody come with like one of the cargo vans. Most of the U-ship shippers will put what they're driving. I, again, have 11 acres, so I have room for a semi to pull in my yard if they need to. But if you're concerned with where you are as far as what they're driving, every different company, most of them, from what I've seen, put the picture of their truck that they use in their like profile picture. So you kind of see what they're going to be dealing with or what you'll be dealing with when they come. Udalali, I love the name. I think I say that every time I see it. Yvonne, do you have any tips for creating more item space in the booth to get better value for the rent?
It's only been about 8 months for me, although I do come from a background of flea markets. It was a different situation, before the internet, the late 80s and 90s, and we would take booths, and it was cheap, and we would take booths and make big stores. So, and I didn't leave my items there. Oh my gosh, that freaked me out at first. So I'm still learning. What I've done though is I've just bought plastic shelving, and I wanted plastic shelving that breaks apart in case, so I can handle it myself. Like it all breaks back down. I just went to Home Depot or Lowe's. So like if I decide to abort that mission, I can pack it up myself if I have to. Nothing's real heavy. And it just, top to bottom, I'm just trying to fill it up top to bottom. And soon enough, I'll hang some things over the top of the rafter because we are allowed. So things can kind of hang, like I can hang my baskets and stuff. But every time I go in there, I stand back and look, and I'm like, what?
Where can I fit more stuff?
What can I put in there?
Yeah. Treasure Hunting Granny, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. First time chatting. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here chatting with us. Have been watching y'all and others for several months. Started selling on eBay mid-May and sold $900 so far. That is awesome. And it's the start. And those starts are what gets everybody, then you're hooked, because you can do it. Mm-hmm. I am going to give you a dolphin. So thank you so much, Treasure Hunting Granny. Here is
Super chat.
And I'm going to click on this question real quick because it's for me on UShip, and then I'm going to go back because I am behind. So what I've learned, and I learned it from the shippers that came to my house, when I put an item up for people to bid on, it took longer. So now what I do is I get UShip's estimate, and I normally will add $25 to $50. So if it says it'll be $240, I might tell my buyer $275 because there's a $25 UShip fee that I want them to pay, not me. And then I list it at that price. And I've even started with my last couple. I even shaved $25 off of the average, and I end up getting somebody. So they said they don't look at the ones that people want bids on. They look more at the ones I'm okay, I have this going from here to here, and I'm willing to pay $250. They said they prefer to see that versus having to bid for a job. So you just list what you're willing to pay, put it up. And then if you don't get somebody in a week, then you could always increase what you're willing to pay. But it has worked for me every time. And I think I'm at 5 pieces of Ethan Allen that I've had to use UShip for so far. So yeah. Let's see. I think I actually got back. We answered that one. I'm going. Lucinda, you're very welcome. That's why I do this, guys. I really love helping people. I love teaching. I love that comment we just saw, you guys telling me that I'm helping you increase your income and, making your life better is what it's about. It's definitely what it's about. Stop getting colored on just so you know what's happening here. Yes, that's what Kayla said. Julian is the smartest, sweetest, and best boyfriend ever.
Oh, yeah. Then they went on in the chat. Yeah.
They all,
They're
yep.
funny.
See, look, see, there you go. Kayla agrees. DMB, when you first started, were you in the red?
On what? The booth? Yes. eBay? No, because I took the advice that most all of us will say now is I started with stuff around my house. Mm-hmm. I had been quad racing and I quit because, when you hit a certain age, you need to quit roller derby and quad racing. I mean, hello. So I started selling off all that stuff and, but that's pretty good money. And so then it just took off from there. And so I had that money, kind of get started, hit the thrift stores, whatever. What do you got? What do you got, Mom? What do you got, Aunt Lily, that you don't want?
Yep, that's how I started, was just selling stuff out of my house. Actually, I was working in a factory about 10 years ago, and I got mad one day because I just got mad and I walked out as I just couldn't handle it anymore. And then from there, the next day, I went into business for myself. I started selling stuff around my house, and I would go to Goodwill and buy stuff, in my local thrift shops for 50 cents a dollar and turn around and sell it for $15, $20. And and then it just grew from there. But like I said, my first sale on eBay, or actually it was my very second sale on eBay, was those Sexton kitties that I paid $25 for and sold them for $101. So
I started like fairly quick. I quit my job, and then it started like fairly quick on buying a whole bunch. So I would say yeah, and then a lot of it I was literally dumping it all back in. So there was a time where it was just like paying the bills and literally dumping. There was no I mean, profit was paying the bills. Other than that, everything was getting dumped straight back in. So I mean, in the beginning, yeah, I was probably in the red for like, I mean, I was buying a lot, like trying to list so much and everything. And so yeah, I probably was for I could go back in the books, but it's probably a couple months, like 4.
Yeah, and I mean it's still, you know, it's like up down, especially like that auction haul I just did. I bought, you know, $3,600. So, you know, it's like, so those lots to me are in the red, and I kind of want to keep track when that, you know, that lot, because I'm not going to go buy another big haul like that. And actually that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow, is see how much I've made off of that lot, because I haven't even listed it all yet, but I want to know where I'm at for that $3,600 buy, as far as getting back to, you know, kind of baseline zero there. Joan, a troll is just those people that were putting not so nice things over and over in the chat and basically interrupting our chat. Joy wants to know, what kind of accounting books do you use?
What kind of accounting books do I use? Just a ledger. And again, that's only for my new booth, because there I do want to know, I am keeping track of my inventory, just hard copy, because I wanted to monitor theft. And you know, but it's small enough, it's, you know, so I do keep a track, and then I mark off when something sells. But my booth gives me printouts every week or every 2 weeks when my check of what sells. Other than that, I just print out my eBay reports, my PayPal reports, and then on my live sales that I'm doing now, I run them through PayPal. And then I add everything up myself, like all my receipts and everything. And I know I used to do my own taxes way back when we had stores back in the 90s. So I remember this. So I know what they want. And so I add it all up, and I just hand them my numbers, and I say, here's a little box if anybody needs to, you know, prove these numbers I just gave to you. And I give them copies of my printouts from PayPal and my YouTube earnings, and then they go to work.
Well, to be quite honest, I just use my notebook. This will be my first year that I will be filing taxes on my own. Me and my boyfriend have 6 kids together. Well, between the both of us. So he usually just claims me on his income taxes, but I'd never have made enough money for the government to, I don't know. I just haven't ever made enough money. Now this will be the first year. So I guess I'll know next year during tax time.
QuickBooks, love it. Everything I do is automated. And like eBay, if you're on managed payment, that thing is like they're really fairly decent on your printouts. But QuickBooks, so easy. So easy.
Not as easy as paying an accountant and doing
true.
that.
I mean,
that's what I
do. Yeah. You win that one. You win the easy button on that one.
I started when I was making like $2,000 a month. So my sales now average about $10,000 a month, just on eBay. So probably $12,000 a month across the platform. When I started making $2,000 a month, I'm like, okay, this is enough that I'm going to get in trouble if I'm not reporting and keeping track. And that's when I hired an accountant. Like, that was like 10% of my sales at that point, but I'm like, nope, like this is going to go up. I know I'm going to keep putting it into there. And so, yeah, he luckily has not charged me anymore since it started, because my businesses have like expanded and grown in what I'm doing. But now that eBay's collecting sales tax for Florida, life is good. So that'll make his life a lot easier. Our sales count's good. I'm assuming Michelle probably means like sell-through rate. Mine has went down as I've gotten more long tail items. So, you know, Like my percent used to be closer to 50, and I think I'm at like 35% sell through right now. So the long tail items have affected like my percent. If you look at like listed versus sold, they have affected mine.
Oh, okay. So I was looking at the right one. I was like, I see Kat's lips moving, but she's not talking. Because I got the volume down on YouTube.
Oh.
So, well, just let me give you an example. So I do have some long tail. Now, I know this is a theory that everyone says, but nobody can prove it except for subjectively you can prove it. Every time I sit down and go on a listing binge, I swear stuff sells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, and say, for instance, I finally, if you follow me, you know I did the first dibs clothing, right? And so then I sent out what sold, and then I started listing it on eBay, just like I said I was going to. I sold a couple of pieces that night, by the way, and then I sold 4 items that were like long tail. Like one of them I even giggled at. I'm like, oh, really? But so.
Yeah, but I find that too. Like if I don't list anything for a while, then my sales go down. But then if I go on like a listing binge, then I will sell stuff on eBay that has been listed for a very long time that didn't even have any watchers, and all of a sudden it just sells. That's like I said, if I don't list anything for a while, we just got back from vacation, so I need to get busy listing because I haven't listed anything forever. But yeah, it's weird. It just seems, I think it's the algorithm.
Yeah.
To do with that. So.
Yes, I agree with them.
Yep. Julian's reverting to his answer. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna. The more long tail you have, you're gonna, sell less until that long tail percent gets up there, and then the long tail will start selling. Do you pay promotional fees that eBay asks? I do. I promote everything. Julian. Oh, I went the wrong way again. Julian promotes nothing really. I promote everything, and I do it above trending. I actually add 3% because of what I said earlier. I buy at 10%. I have 90% to work with of what I expect to get for it. So I am more than happy to pay eBay an extra 5 to 10% to sell items faster. And I kind of put that in. Yeah, American Bubble Boy is great. I think it's Joel that I talked to. It just says American Bubble Boy on Facebook. Joel's the owner. Like, he bought all the champagne at the reseller rally for everybody on the boat, which was cool. And he thanks me regularly for sending people to them. So, which is very nice, for a company to be appreciative of, what you're doing.
I'm definitely going to have to check them out.
Oh, Bubble Boy.
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing.
Mama.
Aunt B wants to know, how long do you keep an item before you donate it?
Mama, we need ice.
Okay, go get ice.
We need ice.
If I've already done the work, it's
You need a prize.
staying up to sales. I may refresh the listing. I may lower the price. I may pull it in my booth now, perhaps. But
Ice now.
I don't
you
have
guys,
a
I'm a
prize.
small store. You have to remember. I think I'm up to about maybe 300 listings. Like, I keep my eBay store pretty small. It's just me.
Yeah, if I've already got something listed, then it's downstairs. I'm not gonna go find it to donate it again unless I'm gonna clean out my basement or something. But if I don't have it listed yet and I've tried to sell it in my live sale and it didn't sell, like at least I'll probably try like 2 or 3 times to sell it in my different live sale. I'll wait a little bit and then try like a couple sales later. And if it doesn't sell, then I'll donate it.
I'll probably in like 2 years really go through. I have 1,700 listings, and some of them were I bought when I was like not knowing really what's going on. And so it's like some of them I know probably. I mean, everything sells, sure. But I mean, some of this stuff is not gonna sell. Like, I know it. So like the 2 year mark, and I'll be very picky on what I like donate back. But it so yeah, I think like my 2 year mark, I'm gonna like clean some stuff and But
I
usually I don't.
probably should. I probably should, but I do not. And that kind of goes into Pame's question as well. I just leave stuff in a bit. I just sold a couple things last week that were listed over 2 years. It happens. And I just answered this. I'll let everybody else answer it. I promote it trending plus 3%. And that average percentage per item varies. Some stuff's only at 2% because I do the trending. So that would go up to 5% because I do plus 3. And then some of it, like jewelry, is so oversaturated, you have to promote at a higher percent. So I might pay 10 or 11%. I cap out at 11. I won't pay more than 11%. But when I used to do a bunch of jewelry, I was doing it at 15% because I was paying like pennies for this stuff and these big, massive jewelry lots. So I was okay paying 25% total, to make 15, 20 bucks for an item I paid like 10 cents for, so I think it's all relative, but it varies with the promotion fees, how much percent by the category. I don't know. Does anybody else promote?
I do at 1%. But let me say this. I went down kicking and screaming because I was like, that was from the old CEO who was going to make eBay investors happy by increasing revenue and getting it from the sellers. So that was the whole thing we talked about, a couple years ago. He's gone now, but they're not going to take that off the menu. So reluctantly, I started doing just the bare minimum 1%. Like on a $30 shirt. What is that? 30 cents. I just do it on everything now. I tapped out. I'm doing it, and it just seems to help.
I never have promoted anything. I never have tried it.
I may have switched some things up and I have a new video coming out on it, but I may have started.
Julian's being sneaky. I will tell you guys, I got a message today from eBay saying that I'm going to be getting more for my promoted fees. And I do know Tommy Bernhard had actually researched. And if you're at 5% or higher, your items were getting pushed out on Google. And the message from eBay today said that they are going to start pushing your items out onto other sites, Google and other sites included in the promoted fee. So they're going to start giving you more for what you're paying, which will be nice. We are going to go into the quick fire. So we're going to try and answer these questions as fast as we can. Dalton I told him I'd give him a prize, and he says he wants his prize now, and I don't have a prize in the shed. That's what oh no. I'm sorry. We'll go get you a prize in just a minute. So I'm gonna answer this and then we'll start quick fire after I get the super chat. I have not ever used Greyhound package, but I have heard about that. Let me get this from DMB. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm gonna give you your dolphin and we're gonna go into a really quick fire. Super chat. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see if I can find questions. Let's see. Look, now I can't find questions. Oh, here's a question. Has anyone had glitches with eBay going to respond to offers, finding there is nothing there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but not recently. We grabbed these questions already. Okay, how do you track your mileage? I just use gas receipts, but never put in for mileage.
I'm supposed to be using an app. Next.
I don't, because I enjoy shopping too much.
If you use QuickBooks, it's on your phone, and you can go ahead and say personal or business, tracks it for you, easy peasy.
I use MileIQ, which is an app, and I will tell you, Sweden, that you're going to make so much more on your taxes by doing mileage versus using gas receipts. It's going to be like 3 times as much money, just FYI. So I would track the mileage. Nancy over on Facebook. I have a buyer who buys the same item and doesn't pay. I realize she buys it again and doesn't pay 4 times. I tried to block her, but it says she doesn't have an account.
That's weird.
I don't know if any of us have anything for that.
that's a call eBay. But unless you have concierge service, you might have to talk to a few different people to get a consensus, a matching answer.
I've never had that happen to me before.
I'm calling eBay and calling until I get an answer that I want, or an answer, really. Like, it might take 5 calls or 10. Or 1. Could take 1. Could take 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Has anyone experienced a buyer getting a message the item can't ship to them? I just had someone message me. They tried to accept my offer and I can't ship to them.
Yes. I asked him, well, where are you from? Like, what does your address say?
I only have not on eBay, but on Facebook Marketplace. And I think that's because I don't know if Facebook Marketplace lets you ship out of the country because they do flat rate shipping. So, but not on eBay. I have it.
Yes, recently I've gotten 3, and Kevin was down here with me, and he said, tell them that there's too many characters that they're trying to use on their address. That's exactly what I did. And
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, he said it's usually when they say like attention to blah, blah, blah. He was trying to send it to somebody else. Long story, it actually, whatever he did to his redoing his address on eBay, it worked. So Commonwealth Picker.
That is good to know because I have had that happen as well. Yes, and I had an international one to Canada. It was actually at that $300 hairpin, and it told them I couldn't ship to them. And I said, just send me an offer, I'll accept, and I'll add the shipping. And that's what I did. And there was no issue with their address, so I'm not sure what happened there. We know you're done. We are almost done. We know you're done. He's been decent. He's been good. Does anybody know if the plastic shelving went up in price? I will tell you guys, I buy mine all from estate auctions and get it really cheap. I don't buy new. So
for everything except for my booth that I wanted to be matching and look good, I buy it from the thrift stores. But if you look at if you're interested, you can look at some of my booth pictures and see what I bought. There's one called Move-In Day, and you can see me putting it together. It was about $40, but it's a little bit more industrial, somewhere between household and garage. So you know what I mean? A little bit sturdier, very tall.
Yeah, I buy everything from the thrift stores or get it off the curbs. I don't buy them new.
Yep, I go with what they say.
Yvette, is there anything you just won't sell?
I don't really want to sell pornography type stuff or, certain types of adult toys. And sometimes I'm a little leery on liquor stuff. Like sometimes I get a bee in my bonnet because I don't want to promote liquor, and that's just personal family skeletons in the closet type stuff.
I will sell anything. It doesn't matter to me. There's things that I don't pick up. Like I don't look at Avon bottles, even though some of them are worth money. They just don't catch my eye. I don't pick up precious moments. A lot of the times I don't do clothes. Like if I'm at my local thrift store and I see a piece of vintage clothing, for 50 cents, then I'll pick it up. But pretty much I will sell anything.
Anything that I know 100% that I'll get zeroed on eBay for.
Yeah. Don't sell prescription stuff.
Yeah.
I'll sell anything else. If it'll make a profit, I'll sell it. What software? So I just do screenshots and then I just do screenshots to like screenshot where it's sold. And then I use Thumbnail Maker, which is a free app on your phone to put my words over it. I'm assuming you're probably talking about Instagram, my like bolos that I put out. So Thumbnail Maker is free. And then I just use my regular editing software. Do you use the recommended price when you create a listing that like populates from the...
Heck to the no.
Nope.
No, definitely don't. Queen of Snacks. Who do you watch or listen to? This is a loaded question. Who do you watch or listen to when listing on eBay?
All the people that I trust and where I'm going to learn something, and it's quite a long list. I take in a lot of YouTube content, so all of my YouTuber friends, of course, and then just a bunch more. It's too long just to drop a couple of names, and then it looks like I'm playing favorites or something, and I don't like that. But a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't really have YouTube on when I'm working unless I'm packing. I take that back. If I'm packing up my stuff, then I have YouTube on. But if I'm listing things online, then I don't really have the TV. Like I'll have the TV on the background, but when I'm watching YouTube, I like to be able to watch YouTube. I don't like to just listen to it. So I just
I watch so much. I watch like literally everybody. If I see something pop up, I'll watch them. But non-reseller related, I watch boats go in and out of Boca Inlet in Florida. I can watch that for days. I just put that on back here. Look, boats are. I look over. Boats are going back and forth. I'm like, man, I'm like right down there with them. So non-reselling.
Mine is funny. I watch Peppa Pig because my friend here is in here with me 9 times out of 10, and that's what keeps him quiet and out of my hair. I watch most of the YouTube when I am driving. I don't watch it, but I listen. That's when when I'm at work and doing like my charting for work, I will put YouTube in the background and listen to it. Joy wants to know which QuickBooks you use, Julian.
Oh, I told her. I forget what it is.
Mama,
Bundle.
We're almost done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you list things right away or do you stock up in garage sale season?
I don't. Let's just say I don't purposely hold things going, oh, this is a bikini, I need to wait till summer. Let's just say I don't purposely do that. But what is happening to me now because of my booth, because of live sales, is some things I've bought, but I'm like, I'm not going to list this. I'm going to save this. I'm having a live sale with Kat, and I know kind of what we're going to sell. I'm having a theme sale and next month with George to say, so I need to save this item for that, and some things are going to the booth.
Well, I am horrible about listing. I will be honest. I will buy stuff. I bought a Mighty Ducks starter jacket, a vintage Mighty Ducks starter jacket that's worth quite a bit of money 2 years ago, and it's still sitting in my basement that I haven't got listed. I am horrible about listing things. But every once in a while, I will go on a kick. I will get on a kick and list like 30, because I'm supposed to. Me and 2 other my friends that I met on YouTube do 30 weekend listing challenges where we're supposed to list 30 items the weekend. We do a challenge every week. I have not been with the summer, with having 6 kids, being so busy all the time. I haven't had a lot of time. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll list things right away. Sometimes I'll just sit on it.
I list everything as fast as I can.
I wish I had your motivation.
I list a lot, but when I buy auctions, I buy like whole carfuls. That's how my death pile came to be. But I'm in Florida. There is no garage sale season. I know some people up north, it's only certain months, but I'm in Florida and it's year round. So that's not like not being able to get inventory is not a problem for me. Joan, do you get 1099s from the selling platforms? Is there a minimum you have to make? I'm going to answer this real quick so we can get to some more. Legally, every dollar you make should be reported to the IRS. And I have a good friend who sold on eBay, and they came back 3 years later and fined her because she did not report it, and she was not making that much. And she is still years later paying the government for that. So beware, because it's online. They can find it. They can see it. I believe they're sending out 1099s for $600 or more, though. Let's see if we can grab a couple more questions, guys, and then we will get out of here because we are already over. And obviously, Dalton is done. That is pretty obvious. Dalton said on that. Susie, big boxes of jewelry. You could look on online estate auctions, and some of the YouTube auctions might do them. Does anybody else have any other recommendations for big box, not giant boxes on the estate auctions, but pretty decent lots?
Besides Thread Up and Goodwill? No, I don't.
I don't
Or
either.
auctions.
Nope.
Oh, jewelry bat. Well, no, that's Goodwill. Never mind. That's Goodwill.
Yeah, that's Goodwill. I don't know who Sarah Coventry is. Can anybody answer
There are
that?
a few pieces. There are a few pieces, but it's just barely a hair above Avon. So you want to check and get it cheap. There are a few pieces that might go for more.
The promotion numbers you can pick, but they're going to tell you that they recommend this amount. You can either go lower, like Yvonne said, she does 1%. I used to do 2%, and then I did 10% for a while, and then I went to trending +3 because some of it was only 2%, so I'm paying 10, where even with +3, I'm still only paying 5%. So that's why I changed to what I did. Has anyone had an issue with eBay saying your payment will be available on a certain day and then the date changes?
Is it got to do with a return or a possible return request? But no.
No, not since I switched to managed payments.
I mean, one time I didn't get paid for managed payments, and it was a big thing. Nobody did, so.
Yeah, I haven't had that issue either, but like Yvonne said, it might be like a return or something that pulls from your available funds or something like that. I don't even have concierge, and I sold over 100,000 last year. I think you have to have like that big $300 store or whatever. Does anybody else know how you get eBay concierge?
I got it by going to eBay Open, and I would have got it again if I didn't already have it by I volunteered for a couple of years to be an what's it called? eBay diversity. I can't remember. Diversity something, helping onboard new sellers. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Do any of you have a profit death pile? If so, how long have you had it? Not to include air filters.
I do.
Those were on purpose.
I do, but I'm not worried about it. It's okay, wait a minute. You do, okay. It's a vintage Lisa Frank's bin. I'm not worried about it, but I do need to keep an eye on if they're, when I think that, because right now it's hopping again with the millennials. So I do need to keep an eye on it and I'm trying to find that apex moment to get it all listed and sell it off. I don't think we've hit it yet. I think I can wait just a little bit longer. The collectors are gobbling it up and prices are rising, but I'll probably do it before Christmas. I don't want to miss that top tier, when it goes back down.
Yeah, because things change all the time. Different trends change all the time. One day, Lisa and Frank might be worth hundreds, and the next day it might be worth nothing. But I have had a death pile for about 2 years now.
Julian doesn't believe in them.
I moved very quickly through that, so I would say like I have sockets laying around if I'm like really need some, to boost some listings like 30, but it's not really. Even those won't last, but at the latest a month. And usually when I buy something, it's very quick turn.
I have some stuff I've had over 2 years as well that I don't even know what's in there. It could be hundreds of dollars. It could be worthless at this point. I have stuff in the house that was under the desk that I legit bought probably 2.5 years ago. So I'm doing good. I have like 8 empty bankers boxes. So I'm moving through it and not replacing. So DMB wants your lamp from the background.
Oh,
I
love
actually
it
have
too.
2 of them. I have a pair of them, and
it.
those were an amazing buy. I bought the pair of lamps at an estate sale I found on Facebook Marketplace for $5.
So Queen of Snacks, I know, and is asking when you see regular sales. That varies very, very much on what you're listing, because you might have people doing video games and popular stuff that will sell like soon as you list it. I see, like, look at Thrift Daddy. Thrift Daddy has 75 active items and is selling every day. So there's not a magic number. Renee, I'm sorry to hear that you have COVID. I hope you and Tim feel better and get over it soon. We will finish out with with this question. I hope you're feeling better, Renee. This is going to be the last question, guys, and then I'll let the ladies say goodbye. Has anyone heard of or tried Mercari Local? I know that's pretty new.
Have not tried.
Haven't tried it.
I haven't tried it either. Yes, I love Peppa Pig's accent too. Thank goodness. So let me go ahead. Thank you guys so much for watching. We still have over 300 in chat. I'll back it out so you can see the ladies' names again. I'm going to make Miss Yvonne big. Definitely check out these guys and Julian. And if you came over from one of the ladies' channels, definitely subscribe to me if you like reseller type content. I'm going to make Miss Yvonne big, and then we will do Missy, and then we will let you guys go.
Well, thank you very much, y'all. I recognize a lot of you in the chat. Those that I don't, I hope you'll come over and give my channel a chance. I'm sorry I'm blurry on YouTube. I promise you, you can ask the rest. I look perfectly clear in the StreamYard behind the scenes studio. Anyways, thank you. I had a great time. Talk to y'all later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you would go over and subscribe to my channel, that would be wonderful. Like I said, I'm only at 2,000 subscribers, but that's good for me. I really never thought I would even make it this far. And thanks again, Kat, for having me. I really, really appreciate it. This is my first time being a guest on someone's channel, other than I was a guest on Tammy from Vintage Texas Uprising's channel for a live sale. But this is my first time being a guest on a show. So I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep smiling and happy picking. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Julian and I really appreciate it. We will see you guys next week. We're going to have Dagny. Dagny and Carol, Butterfly Hustles, I believe, are going to be our guests. Julian's going to be surrounded by ladies again.
I love both of those. That's
yes,
be great.
They will be wonderful. So it will be another great week next week. We will see you guys next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern